Imagine being so anti-Trump that you are pro-crime, because this has become the Democrats' platform over the last 2 months. And we first saw this with all the rioting, looting, and stealing. If Trump is against rioting, looting, and stealing, how do the Democrats characterize these activities? As mostly peaceful protests. In Seattle, where you had protesters that were sprouting up new countries in the middle of Seattle as they conquered 6 square blocks of downtown Seattle, put up borders, put up border control. How does the Seattle mayor, how does she characterize this? As the summer of love, because Trump is against it. And if Trump is against it, if Trump is against new countries forming in the middle of our cities, then the Democrats have become for it. And I hate to use broad sweeping generalizations and say Democrats think this, Republicans think this, but when you see these things happening over and over and over again, they just become statistically accurate. And I mean, we have seen this travel all throughout the country, these poisonous ideas of characterizing rioting, looting, and stealing as mostly peaceful, as new countries form in the middle of cities, calling that the summer of love. We've seen these poisonous ideas spread like a virus throughout the entire country. It was first most emphasized in Seattle, but then this kind of spread all over the country. We have Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, who agreed to defund the police department $150 million. And then you have idiot Mayor Bill de Blasio agreed to defund the police $1 billion. You have Minneapolis City Council that has agreed to completely disband the police and replace it with some sort of reimagined policing, some community-led service, which is extremely ambiguous. We don't even know what that means. So I'm hoping that they will tell us in the near future what reimagining policing looks like, because we still have no idea. Just a big question mark. We just know that we don't want people with guns roaming around on our streets dealing with violent criminals. The people dealing with the criminals who have guns should not have guns, according to Minneapolis at least. And we've most recently seen a great example of just absolute incompetence and city officials standing with violent rioters and protesters in Portland with Mayor Ted Wheeler, who went out during something like day 60 of violent riots after federal agents had came in. And since the federal agents were there to quell the protests, to quell the riots, what is Ted Wheeler's stance on this? Well, they're bad. We don't want any federal agents here, as they're trying to quell the violence. If Trump does not like violence, if he doesn't like riots, if he doesn't like 60 straight days of violent rioters trying to burn down a federal courthouse, then Mayor Ted Wheeler thinks it's a good thing. He wants it. Why? Because if you are anti-Trump and Trump is against violence, then you are for violence. So stupid idiot Mayor Ted Wheeler goes out and gives a speech to all the protesters and says, "I stand with you." So he's standing with the people that are trying to burn down his city, essentially, going against all the law-abiding citizens. Why? Because he is so infected with Trump derangement syndrome, so infected with Trump derangement syndrome that he has become pro-crime. I mean, it is truly astounding. When reality is stranger than fiction, we live in a very strange world here, and just wanted to point these things out. Anyway, hope you liked my video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, and I will see you all next time.